2, 3. Super. Okay. This is also something that we never did before, right?
There are always firsts with you. That's nice.
All Lights On, a podcast about equal parenting by a triathlon mom and a rockstar dad juggling everyday's life.
Welcome.
Janos!
Hi, Elena.
Hi, János. How are you?
Thank you. I'm a bit tired, but this is my standard answer now. I think I just got used to it, so I'm just good.
But I mean, you can tell it every time. This is the introduction of yours.
Okay,
I'm good, but I'm tired.
Let me answer it different. And I'm good. I had a very relaxing weekend with my family.
That's very nice. Me too.
What
a coincidence.
But actually the funny thing is that I think it's also a kind of a European behavior to answer this question with also something personal. Not even European, because also in the UK, when you say, like, how are you? Then they will answer, how are you?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I grew up in Germany. There you answer honestly.
You say something, right?
Yes.
Also, we do say something at Hungary.
I mean, you Hungarians are always complaining then, I guess.
Yeah, when we have to say something, then we have to be disappointed about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The disappointment topic is a topic.
No, because it's a current topic for us in the family.
Yeah, but I think you often communicate that you have your disappointment as a feeling within you about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the most cases or the biggest disappointment of myself is when I have to be disappointed about my body. And
exactly, yeah, there we start.
Yeah. Being sick. Because I think always that my body is an undistractable tank, and there's just only, I don't know, a very long train which can stop it with a frontal crash. And sometimes I just get a simple viral infection and I'm in bed for a week or two. And this is disappointing.
Yeah, that's because of that, I'm also thinking that disappointment is a topic for you.
But shall I share already the struggle from yesterday?
You can. We can start with that.
So what happened yesterday, and actually this is a few days ago, a tendency that Minnie stopped listening in the evening. So when she's tired or hungry or both, then she just starts to ignore what you tell. And yesterday I bathed her, and by the time we got ready, so I dried her up and combing the hair and so on, she like completely used my energy and patience and everything with this behavior. And then I was coming to the kitchen and I was preparing for dinner, and when I looked back, then she was taking the soda bottle and started to drink from the bottle, and I started to say stop, 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 and instead of stopping she was drinking from it, and I started to get loud. I mean, Elena, you can confirm me how loud I am in this.
Yeah, usually you're not really. I mean, I am the loud one from
but actually,
the two of us. Minnie
realized that it's not the regular daddy, so like she was already, how to say, frightened from the situation.
Yeah.
And was surprised.
I mean, I was not in the room, but I heard it from the back somewhere.
But then when further on, when we were talking about it, then you asked me, why was that so hard? And I phrased it out.
Sorry to interrupt. I came into the room and I immediately feel your mood. Your behavior is not so much different, but your attitude or your aura, I don't know, is like you just lost patience, or you're not patient anymore and you lost it within you. And then I asked you in bed what was so hard and why it was so hard,
and my answer was that I was disappointed. And then first you thought that I was disappointed that she was not doing my expectation, but actually the reason was not my expectation, or more or less yes, but my expectation to her is the capabilities and the skills and the focus and all her knowledge I expect her to use. And I know that she's capable to focus and capable to understand the sentences I'm saying. She's just ignoring it. The only capability which is lacking is managing the low energy status.
Yeah.
I know. We are talking about a 2.5 years old toddler, which is a valid argument. but still the feeling itself or the root of the feeling is the disappointment when it goes as a trend can be very, very much draining. And yeah, I got to the point by the end of the day as well, how also she did.
Yeah, for me, this was just such a surprise, or somehow I was then really maybe a bit shocked, or I mean, I don't like it to talk about this like a disappointment, because of course she's capable to listen and to do what we say, but she's still, first of all, an own human being, and she has a strong will, and we support the strong will, so we have to also live with the consequences. This is always the thing. You always have to consider how you educate your child, and she can speak up. Okay, she does not speak up in the moment, she just ignores you, but it's kind of the same thing. She just does what she wants, and she's listening a lot of times very good, and she can do it, but that she has this outbreaks of that, I think it's super normal. Yeah, to lose patience then is also normal from a parent side, but I think on both sides it was evening, you two were tired, I was also tired, and yeah, then it happens. But to have this, to carry this strong feeling of disappointment, I think this is not really appropriate for that age, and also not really good for that state. I think she can do better, but she tests us and she tests her boundaries, and that's good. She should.
But honestly, this is a tendency of me. I still feel it fair. I mean, not to carry this strong feeling, but when I think about the root of the feeling, and when it's phrasing out as disappointment, then it is what it is. What I can think about, like, why do I have so much high expectation from a 2.5-year-old? But this is a character attribute of mine as well. So if I think about my past, to all of the closest friends, I always had high expectations. When I see actually talent or outstanding skills in someone and it's not used, then I'm disappointed.
Yeah. We discuss this very often. And
especially when it's somebody who means something to you or something to me, then I try to communicate this, that they should invest their character into themselves, their own.
It's a very good coincidence that we planned today to talk a bit about you. So this is already quite a good bridge, I would say.
You created it.
Maybe we can, since we last week were talking so much about my way, or it was more about my career, but I think it's also good to understand how you got to the situation where you're at now, and what is leading you there, because I think it's extraordinary that you're such a chilled character, that you are such a dad that loves to be a dad, and maybe fills in more mother attributes or than other mothers or me, or I don't know how to phrase it. So let's start.
Today we had a situation actually where you said this because I was washing the dishes. No, I was washing the container, or the tank of the vacuum cleaner, and then you came to pick up to make a towel wet, and then you said that this water is so hot, and then I answered, yeah, this hot water makes things clean, and then you said that you're like a housewife.
I said you have the hands of a housewife.
Ah, okay.
Maybe the hands of a houseman would have been more correct. Yeah, so you grew up in Hungary. Maybe we can start there.
I just start the story, and then so I don't know the point where you want to get, because you want to make it connected to being chilled. For this question, I do not even know the answer myself. But yes, I grew up at Hungary, and actually my memories are very, very hazy. I do not really have much clear memories about my childhood, and even from my teenagehood. I would say by the end of high school, I do not have many clear memories. And when I think back now, university was passing also so fast. Sometimes I get flashbacks to university. Some memories are coming back. but I couldn't tell what did I do in a certain year or semester or something. Maybe I could look up my concert tickets and I could tell something.
Yeah, I think you would have more memory or more stories about that.
To get to the point of growing up alone, and it was growing up alone and not at the same time. Because during primary school, my mom started her own business. So instead of working for any companies and also end of socialism, then there were tiny businesses. And then with another businessman, they rented a farm and started to grow geese for the first time. But this was going in a direction that she left home, basically, because the rotation with the geese was a whole summer, and then she was staying at the farm and then coming home, I think, every weekend, more or less. And then going back to work. And at the same time, my father was further working for a company. But then when my mom's business grew, then she bought a farm and started to raise chicken. But like imagine the industrial style, so 10,000 chicken in one farmhouse with the rotation of from 6 to 8 weeks.
That's quite crazy.
It is. So this is this soybean. Chicken are grown. But with that one, also to start that business, my father stepped out from his job and joined this business. And then first they wanted to move the whole family, but by the time I did so many after school activities and I was connected to my friends so much that I wanted to stay, and they let me.
How old have you been at that time?
That must have been the age of 10. I wasn't alone because first I was staying at my grandma from my mom's side a half a year. Then half a year I went to my aunt, and then I just got annoyed about always going away from home, that there was the house and my bed and I wanted to sleep there. And so then my other grandma was...
This is so typical.
Typical Hungarian.
No, typical János. That you could not... I mean, I love to be at my grandparents and stay over, but maybe this is also the emotional connection and the connection that was differently there, but that you phrase it like this is typical you.
I can share more details. So socially it was quite exhausting to stay at my grandparents from my mother's side because they were still living together with two of the children of them who had children. So it was quite busy there. A regular breakfast was with 8 to 10 people, and every day before school. And also when we sat down for breakfast, then already they had cows and like animals at home. The work was already done outside. So I think it was fair that I also wanted to have some privacy, even though it was the age of 10 or 11. But the thing is, then I started to sleep at home, and first my grandma was coming over from my dad's side that I'm not sleeping alone in the house. But then I just told my mom that this is not necessary at all. And
I mean, we are talking about a boy in the age of 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
So what would you say if your daughter is coming up with this idea?
I don't know. Because, I don't know what is valid independency level for that age. Later on, when I grew older, I could also see that this is not a typical family model, but I didn't feel bad about it. And I was also, we already had phone, so we were calling with my parents. They were coming on the weekends, or I was going on the weekends. And also, I mean, I was supported by my parents because at the very beginning, I mean, I needed to learn the household. So also my mom was coming home cleaning. On the weekend, she cooked in the manner that I just needed to warm up during the week. But also as I grew, then also I could do more and more of this and maybe half prepared food. And I also learned some easy recipes, and then slowly I could do things. Recipes. Preparing food is not cooking.
Oh, good.
So then I ended up alone at home. And I completely liked it. I developed routines, which helped me already that time. I mean, because I think I couldn't rely on the others. This is why the routines were the systems I could rely on and could get ready by time. And also, in addition being alone, I kept animals at home during primary school. So first I had rabbits, then chicken. I had pigs for a while, so like I was not only taking care about myself but also about the animals around the house. And I had some fights with my mom because I could never clean as good as she did. This was always a point, and by nowadays this is a topic which freaks me out when she comes up with. And like also if I think about the friends or other households I visited those times, actually it was quite tidy, I can tell you.
In your home?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cool thing came after primary school, being alone, because then I started to go out.
Yeah, exactly, that part. This is for me a wonder that you survived.
So then I was alone at home. The best parties were at my house, of course, and also like early going to bars and music festivals, concerts, so on. So I already started to explore nightlife, so to say, on the weekends when I didn't go to my parents or so. And this was just increasing with high school. During university, my social environment or my network got quite spread, and already a new community started to grow so at those times there was no internet, and
we have to mention this.
When computer came, then we started to build these local networks and play computer games at someone's home. And then there was at my hometown one place where a guy started a business. First, I think with 3 computers, and you could go there per hour paid, play the most recent computer games. It became a social center for the youth. And this was the community where I socialized later on. And I went to high school to the biggest city nearby my hometown. This was Debrecen, and this was going with daily commuting. And the other community where our network started to mix was on the train. And this way I grew a quite wide network.
Yeah, I mean... It's also to mention that you're a very social character.
I'm very outgoing.
You're very outgoing, extrovert. I think this helps in that time. But did you never have the feelings that you don't want to go to school or you don't want to do your stuff?
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
So I skipped school, but I was allowed to select the school where I want to go on my own from high school on. I had the motivation to go there. I like to learn, and I don't know, it was, we talked about competition already. So what I remember from high school, I really liked natural sciences, and I was happy to know geometric algebra and answer the teacher first all the time, just to annoy the eminent students in the room, because they knew the answer by learning. And like I was never good with memorizing literature and so on.
Yeah.
I always learned logics, and with that I could have a very entertaining discussion at math lecture with the teacher, annoying the others.
But this is not gone yet. So this is one of your character properties. I think that you're not competitive. So when I play something with you, cards, or you don't want to really win. It's not, you don't want to be the best. But your highest goal is that the others are so pissed off about you and how you play, and this is the biggest joy for you.
I didn't know that this is going to connect in here, but this one friend of mine who was there with me from kindergarten to university, he was always better than me. Really. But I never felt I need to compete him. He was always there, and actually, I don't know, somehow it was just good to be on the same level with him somehow, and this was enough for me. I did not want to go be better than him. And also in high school, we went to these scientific competitions, and we were like country top 10, and he was always higher scored. I didn't mind. I was just happy that we traveled away for a weekend for this competition, and then we met some other people, and I had fun, and then we went home, and I could tell that I'm in the top 10. He was in the top 3 all the time.
Okay.
And I think he had this impact on me, that I did not want to be the best all the time, but just being part of the competition.
Okay.
And this way I skipped school sometimes, and we were even allowed, because we always had the best grades. And by the end of high school, I think we were the only one finishing with, at Hungary, the best figures you can get is 5.
Yeah.
So I know in Germany it's the opposite. So all 5. This is how we finished high school. From the class. We were the 2 only ones.
Really?
Yeah.
This I didn't know. You were the 2 best one in high school?
No, wait. 4 got this, and out of the 4, we 2 were there. Sorry.
Yeah, but still, that you finished so good, I never knew.
I did. But in a way that there was Slayer concert at Budapest. And, we were, with my friend, super much into thrash metal, and that was they didn't come to Hungary every year. It's not like Germany, where like all the big acts are going. It's a small market for music as well, and also developing countries, so they cannot pay the expensive merch. The bands are coming there for fun when they are bored about Germany. And we had to go. So I believe that my friend got the allowance, but since I did not want to so much negotiate with my parents, I told them that I go to Debrecen. So I got the signature. We had to bring a written note to the teacher that we are allowed to skip a day. And then we went to Budapest and just come home the morning after. And we saw Slayer on stage in pouring rain, in one of the most important memories of my life. It was awesome. And also we went to so many concerts also during university. So we skipped school, and sometimes it even turned out that like we skipped school because we went to a concert. And especially one of the teachers were super pissed at us because she always expected us to be the role models because of the good grades. And we were not.
Disappointment, huh?
Mm-hmm. But we didn't really care. Slayer comes one time. Did I answer your question? I forgot your question.
I just wanted you to tell the story that over the phase of being between 10 and 20, I don't know, you were kind of growing up without parents directly next to you. They were there. I mean, they took care that you have everything. But in the end, it's for me so unique that in this age range, a teenager is living alone and then still does such a good education or has such good grades, and then continues to university and developed in a direction that, so I mean, with a lot of sanity. I mean, I don't know if there ever been topic with drugs or too much alcohol or I don't know, but
of course there were.
How did you manage then to stay focused?
I think I'm not a addictive character. Like, that have the tendency of picking up addictions.
That's true, yeah.
And this helped because I tried the stuff, but I did not get dependent on it. I made it for the sake of fun, and when the fun was over, I knew when it is over.
Okay.
And what was bringing me forward? Actually, I don't know. How did it turn out this way? And with sanity.
I don't know if sanity is the right word, but this focus on, of course, it seems you're like a clever guy.
Seem like.
Obviously, you're one of those that I talked about in the episode about my education that was doing everything effortlessly. But
I mean, it was effort. I was doing my homework. I'm a very, very low binding character. I think this is more important than I'm not addictive. And this is the thing. So like very early, I understood why the principles of the laws or the frame I get. And even when I made an excursion, I always returned. So since I was low binding, I was always doing the homework. And at the beginning, I even made business out of it because I was selling it to my classmates. So actually it was...
This is not so law binding.
This is not so law binding, but I didn't think about taxing at those times. I didn't understand it.
Not talking about that.
But since I was doing the homework, this was... I learned the stuff. And this way I could get good grades. Also, I think the community helped me. So we were very bad on the train when we were commuting, but we were still doing sometimes homework together on the train. You can learn from the others as well. And I wanted to be a lab technician. So the high school I attended to was already specialized on chemistry and chemical industry. So we got a very strong background on that. And they gave with 2 years of prolongation after high school specialization that you could work in the chemical industry. And actually there were multiple companies around in the region, so you could get a good job. It looked like a good plan for life. And this is where I wanted to. But then I thought that that is 2 years. When I go to the university, that is 5 years. Also, why shouldn't I try myself at the university? Because maybe it goes, not effortless, but maybe I'm able to. And I will just max lose a year when it doesn't go.
Yeah, okay.
And in 2 years, I'm already on the market.
I'm on the market.
So I can get a job. So it's not because when I just do the technician in 2 years, and then I make up my mind that I go to university, then I already lost 2 years. Because already with a BSc or an MSc, you are higher qualified than a lab technician. I tried, and honestly, it didn't go well. So it was satisfactory the first 2 semesters. At the high school where we learned practical knowledge, what you use in the laboratory and what you will need on the shop floor of the industry. And then you go to this very abstract, unreal imagination of molecules, atoms, and so on. And this was very, very tough to me. And I had to go around the principles, what I learned in the high school, and which I thought that is the basis. But there's more granularity behind the basis. And it was super tough.
No.
And honestly, I didn't finish the university in 5 years. It was 5.5. And because of being afraid of the organic chemistry, I think there were a 3-semester laboratory, and there you were tested if every entrance, every start of the day when you could enter the laboratory. And then I just did not want to fail. And I was so afraid that I was postponing. I didn't pick it up on time. The next semester it was full. And then I got it a year later, and then this pushed out the whole thing, the finishing. So it was 5.5 years, but I was already doing demonstrational work, so teaching other students, which was fun and also not. So unmotivated students are hell. But I was happy that I had a laboratory. This is free entrance to a laboratory anytime. I love that.
But did you somehow have to work, or how did you solve your financial situation during?
Well, I got money from my parents. So the only thing, I wanted to go to work, honestly, because everybody did in my network. But since my mom had business, it was expected on a family level that I'm going there to work summertime. But this I honestly hated, and not because of the work, but I was torn away from my friends. And this was hard to bear until the others were maybe working together somewhere in my hometown. I was shoveling crap at the farm alone. And for social character, that was tough. And also by that time, I got so much used to that I'm independent, that being under the control of the parents is not pleasant at all.
I can understand.
And also by that time, somewhere middle of university, I started music as well. So during primary school, I learned music. I learned theoretic parts, and I learned instrument as well. I was playing the tenor trombone, so wind instrument. and I was in the pre-band of the local wind instrument band. And when my mom started the business, that was the point when we thought that the whole family is going to move away. I quit the school, and I didn't realize that I missed it until mid of university. And actually it was also by chance. So I was at a party completely drunk, and there were some music playing out loud, which I loved, and I started to scream and sing as loud as I could get. And there were two other drunken friends of mine telling that, hey, your sound is awesome, we are forming a band now, don't you want to be the singer? And I was like, really?
At that stage. Yeah, a drunken idea, okay.
But then that was my very first band, and actually it lasted about 10 years.
But
altogether.
You were singing there only, or
it
also playing an
instrument? It was an extreme metal band, and I was only singing.
How is it called, if somebody wants to listen?
Death Warrant. Maybe like when we post this, I will put some links in the social media. Good. Extreme metal, death metal, thrash metal, fusion. And at first we just tried to play what we were able to. Then we wanted to do our original sound and original ideas, and then we put everything complex what we were able to play together in songs, and this was the band. But it was quite successful. We went for talent shows, like in the region we were supported, and there were followers. It was going good, but it wasn't mindful at all. So like there was no plans and perspectives.
No business plan behind.
No, zero. And no understanding of that. And honestly, like almost all of the bands I was playing at Hungary were without a business plans. It was rather the sake of community, the love of music, and fun.
Okay, and then you were in university and you finished, and then you started working in the industry as you planned. I mean, you started in the lab as well.
There I also got help from my mom, because I cannot pronounce this word in English. The animal doctor.
The
veterinarian. So the vet of the farm of my mom had connections to a chemical company close to the farm of my mom, and then there I was applying for a job, and this guy gave me a reference, and I got my very first job at a quality control laboratory, where I was a developing scientist implementing analytical methods for small molecule testing.
Okay.
This I did for 2 years. Shall I tell my business CV now?
No, I don't want to know it in so much detail. Actually, then you changed to another company, and you were already leading a team.
Yeah.
In that one, or
built laboratory.
Oh, yeah.
There I attended to another community, I would say, because the core team of that is still meeting each other and going for long weekends after 11, 12 years, which is very awesome. And also by that time I played 3 bands.
Yeah.
So then later on I
would refer her here to our introduction episode.
Did I tell that?
Yes, I think so. I think I remember that you said something like, I played in 3 bands and had a girlfriend at that time. But yeah.
Yeah, because then from this extreme metal band, I had the motivation to learn instrument, because I couldn't really join the songwriting process from the composition part. So I didn't understand the guys with the instruments. And then I bought my first acoustic guitar and started to learn chords, and this way composition as well. And then later on, of course, electric guitar came with it. Then I tried bass with another one, and so on. Then I had a better understanding of music as well. And with that, with the acoustic guitar, the acoustic pop rock band came. Then later on, like by the network and by the common musicians, I was invited to a band who was lacking a singer. So I went there and we played progressive rock metal. This was super much fun. And then later on, when I slowed down, then I was called back from this band. Actually, they reshaped themselves to ASTRAL DOG, which was one of the best or the biggest success I ever played at Hungary, because the quality of music we released and the attention we could get was, I believe, the biggest. And honestly, I'm still proud of the the music, which is also available on Spotify.
So I can read out of that music was very important and the network of musicians there was very important. But at some point there must have come the idea to go abroad.
The idea was also a kind of coincidence, because
I see.
I was into my career. I was very much into my career, and I worked my ass off as I learned it from my parents. And I believe like a lot of my friends or my generation is the same wired, that you have to work as much as you can, that you earn as much as you can, that your family and your future is rock solid. And this was one of my motivation, but actually I had fun. So I always had creative jobs. I could.
I don't know if a QC laboratory thingy is so creative.
I can go to details and justify it.
No, I think just.
It was building. So especially at my second job, it was multiple laboratory building, and from scratch, that's a big deal.
Yeah, but nobody would say that it's a creative job.
Okay. I think some of the colleagues would say.
in your area, right?
Yeah, who were reported to me, right?
But the idea came somehow to apply abroad, to go abroad.
So I think I had always creative jobs. I was always in a learning curve, a very steep learning curve, and I was addicted to it. Even though I was not, I don't know if I was addicted to it, but I loved it. And I was looking for other opportunities. I wanted to go for characterization to the center of the company where I was working. But there we couldn't really agree how I imagined that. And at the same time, a recruiter called and they were recruiting to Tirol, to the company I'm working at. I didn't get that job, but then the idea was planted in my head. And then I just looked around in my network, who was working from my professional network there. And there I got support. I got insights which jobs would be fitting. I applied and I got it. And I didn't care about anything else. If it is another country, what will I do in free time? And actually it was quite embarrassing at one point, because I didn't tell these plans proactively to my band. And
okay.
It was on its peak, or it was growing, and actually we were driving to Ukraine to play a show there. And while we were driving, then I was called by the company to agree on a interview, and the lead singer of that band answered the call because I was driving.
Oh yeah.
And then I had to confess, and very soon it turned out. And then we played the shows we had. One show I went back from here to play at Budapest, and then I quit the band.
Okay, and the band dissolved, or did they look for another?
I think they played for a bit, but then they didn't continue, unfortunately.
Okay, and what does this do to you? I mean, emotionally?
I'm a bit sorry. Yeah, I am.
Okay, so then, this was just a big coincidence, and the idea was born within you, and you like development, and obviously you were free to go. No family, no girlfriend.
I was after a long relationship, and actually I had quite if you asked me that time, I would have told that the best time of my life I had of freedom and party and so on. But looking back, actually it was one of the down points. So I was drinking too much. Also, I found myself after a drinking rampage that I'm waking up with nose bleeding and so on. So obviously my blood pressure was off track, but I thought that is good for me. And this is how I took care of my freedom. I did everything what I could, but then this opportunity came and I had to focus myself. And actually, when I moved here for the very first year, I still didn't find myself. Whoever moved abroad, everybody knows that you need to redefine yourself.
Yes, quite much.
From scratch. So it didn't go from one day to another. What helped that there was no pressure because I was completely alone.
Yeah.
I could do it as I want.
But did you think about that you will stay for some while and then go back to Hungary?
Yes, I gave for myself a 3 years of limit. I told that after 3 years I will think if I like it or not, if I return or not, because I went abroad also with the same mindset how I did university. So I try, there's nothing to lose.
I admire this, that you can do this.
You can always go back. That's the easiest step.
I mean, in the end, now I'm also there and I'm also thinking like that, more or less. But I think in the past, everything was so big for me, every decision and everything, that I really admire that you could see it like that.
Thank you. I don't know where is it coming from. For me, it doesn't feel so tough to take a decision like that.
Okay.
I think the biggest decisions or the toughest decisions are always which are impacting personal connections.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, because in the end you left the country and you left also so far away that you cannot just quickly go home over the weekend and you cannot go back to your old connections, and this will dissolve, and this is the chosen consequence of it. And then you were always, what you told now, so connected to your environment there. And I mean, this is how I got known you, that I mean, you were not so much connected to there anymore, but there is a big community of yours who is expecting you to get in contact, to meet when you're there. We were so often getting into trouble because I am not like this, absolutely not. And this planning that we meet 3 people per day, 3 different locations, was for me just too much, and I could not. This was so overwhelming and I could not adjust. And I saw that you have this, and now then you decided to go away. But then I also feel like somehow, yeah, you say, okay, you did not have something to lose, you can anytime go back. Yeah, you were most probably feeling it, that you have this community in the back, and then you can always go back because you do not burn bridges, of course. But also, have you never thought that this will change?
Not as a conscious decision, but I practiced it before. Because actually I went always further and further. So,
but you did not go so far away. I mean, you got from Vámosújváros to Debrecen, which is 20 kilometers.
Then when I started university, actually I had a girlfriend at Budapest. So with that, like, tiny step, I know, but weekends mainly I went to Budapest. Then maybe already the first step was when I started to attend concerts at Budapest instead of Debrecen, because also we went every meaningful concerts to Debrecen, but after a while it started to be small and not enough. So Budapest came. When I ever visited or traveled somewhere, I was always thinking about the places I visited. If I could live here, I could live in this surrounding with these circumstances and so on. Then I attended university during my second job for 2 years at Budapest. And with that, this was the time I had the 3 bands.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I told them that we need to restructure when we want to continue, because during the week I will work. So on the weekends we can rehearse. But of course, like 3 rehearsals in one weekend is impossible. So this also started to reduce to every second weeks and so on. And with that, I also tested these relationships. You know, what can they bear and how other relationships are reacting on me being away. And I think I already saw that some relationships are dissolving or not so much coming back or asking back. And of course I felt sorry, but also new relationships built and kept me going, and also the core relationships stayed.
Yeah, this is also something I have to say. I remember that one day, and I always tell this story, when I think we planned to have visitor guests over the weekend or something, and I sent you to the butcher in the city in Kufstein. János at that time was not at all talking German, so I mean, butchery, János, not German. I thought this is a fast thing. He will point on things, and turns out he did not appear back for 45 minutes, and at that time the way there was 5 minutes to walk, and I was like, what is happening? And when he came back, he made a friend, basically. I mean, it's not a permanent friend we have still now, but there were already live stories exchanged exchanged, an invitation to a party, and life goals defined and discussed in that time. And I think in case this person would have stayed in Kufstein for longer, I mean, I think this person went abroad at some point, you would still be friends now.
I also think
because
so.
this is always happening to you. And I am so much the opposite. I need to put so much effort into making new friends and to get into contact at the first sight that I'm always like, I don't know how this happens. I can always not grab it, how this works. But this is just you. You just go somewhere and you're immediately friends with everybody. And I think it's also very cool. But sometimes you bring also home some friends where I say, this is a bit shady, but okay.
I went places where maybe others could have been stabbed, and I ended up drinking a beer or two with the bombs there. I don't know what is that like. It's maybe something similar. How you could smell that I'm out of patience when you entered yesterday to the kitchen. Maybe the people who are not knowing me could already smell that I'm an open character, outgoing character. I don't know.
No, I would analyze it more in a different direction. I would say that you're just so outgoing and a bit naive, and you're just talking to everybody about everything. You do not have any
prejudices.
You don't have prejudices, and you are not afraid of anything. And I don't know if this is man and woman thing, but I'm very careful who I trust. And you give the trust in advance. And for me, it's not that people have to earn it, but I have to see that where this all is going until I'm really in for a friendship.
I think I'm just trained because of the wide network and trying to build a friendship relationship to anybody, basically, that I'm in the mindset that I cannot lose anything. So nobody can take away anything from me.
Yeah, but maybe we have to connect it at some point to the big disappointment you have so often in your life, but inside you. Not communicating it openly, but it's still there.
You mean people deciding to leave from my life? Or what?
Yeah, I think you have a lot of expectations and disappointments, and that's not feeding into this direction, but maybe this is something deeper within you, or a cultural thing or something like that. But coming back to the more work-related topic, or to the going abroad topic, because this leads us then to our relationship at some point. But when you went here, I mean, you had an awesome first year. I mean, you tried to find yourself. Maybe how I got known you was after your first year here, and at that time you were crazy much working and you were always out, and I saw you as a person who cannot say no to others, because when somebody invited for a beer, or somebody invited to go out, or you needed to do something at work for them, or whatever, you could not say no. And you were, in my eyes, always a person with high ambitions at work as well, so that you want to have a career. You had to find yourself. You had to go through a hard time in the job within, I think, the first year we were together. And you had ambitions, and I was thinking, how will this go, or how will this work for us? In that first sense, it was for sure working, because I had ambitions, you had ambitions, and we were a couple. So I think in this sense, it's good. I mean, we understood each other's workload and also lifestyle, I would say, because work hard, party hard. You know, this was kind of the style we lived. And then I did not think about future plans. But after a while, I mean, let's not say after a while. Let's say after the birth of our daughter, this is a completely different man sitting opposite of me now. How did this come?
Yeah, there's a daughter.
This was enough.
She gave me she gave a new meaning of life. I mean, no. Yes and no again, because I can confirm I was the person who was only saying yes for every invitation, because I didn't know how do I want to build up myself, I think. But on the other hand, like, this was my mentality also from my previous life or from my complete history.
Yeah, but isn't this so? I mean, analyzing this a bit, doesn't this also come from your childhood and youth experience?
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't this something that is kind of a...
You balance out loneliness with social connections.
Because everybody has this within themselves. So something from childhood, and there can be everything going right in your childhood, and you still carry something that hurt you or that is...
Yeah, and also, like as a dad now, I see that how important for children focus and attention is. And this is what I was lacking clearly, and this is what I was looking for from other sources, since my parents were not available. And honestly, until nowadays, I still value the most when people give attention to each other. I think there's no better gift or present
that's true.
in the whole world when somebody dedicates their time and attention to each other, because we all die. The time is limited, so when you give it to someone, you give yourself to someone then.
Yeah, but did this mindset shift also happen with your coaching you did?
I think it started there. COVID and then loneliness, and not because I was also the happiest person on earth, because I was close together with the person I fell in love with. So I got her for 24/7. She was annoyed about it.
I was not annoyed. We went through this phase quite good, I would say. We got married afterwards. So, but sometimes, And this is also something I do not understand completely, because you can let go so easily from your previous life and so on. But when I travel away, or when we travel away, you miss us the moment we leave the door. This is also something that's sometimes quite a surprise for me. But do you want to tell the story how you found your coach?
Yeah, definitely. It was COVID. I was alone on the couch and I was thinking about music, because also being at home, I had a home studio so I could work. And then one of my favorite singers from Hungary was advertising coaching.
I love this story so much.
On social media. This was Janka Kossi. And then I was like, okay, this is a chance, because she was giving it away free. I think 5 first appointments for free. And then I contacted her. She still had capacities. First appointment, we talk, and it turned out that it wasn't singing coaching, but personal coaching.
Life coaching. And then she was super cool, because she told me clearly, transparently, what is it about. I was a bit hesitant, but it sounded so good that I thought, like, there's nothing to lose. Like, there's COVID, what else would you do? And let's go into that. And actually it lasted for 1.5 years, I think, with every second, third weeks of meetings. And so long.
I think after 15 appointments or something, we made a summary. We set new goals, and this was with a break.
Oh, yeah.
And then we restarted for, I think, 5 or 10 more appointments after the break. Yeah. So I got homework and so. And then afterwards, I asked her for vocal coaching. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, she started her own vocal school. So
you have so big holes in your socks.
Okay. Shall I comment on that?
No, I cannot believe it. Throw
so
them away,
I can tell
please.
It's on the bottom, so I do not see it. I didn't detect it.
But you tell me that you have so sensitive feet.
I do.
So how do you not feel that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So where was I? Help me. So then
she started her business.
She started her singing school, and I joined that, and I learned quite a lot. And this is how I got through this personal coaching or life coaching. As a result of that, I had to build up myself. As a result of that, with an organized manner, I had to build up myself. So I had to think through, who do I want to be? And actually, the social connections were a crucial part, but then I realized how many other needs I also have, and which also needs more energy. What does make me happy? What energizes me, and so on. And this way, I just realized, and also I had to realize it in practice, that without going out, I can be complete and I can be happy. And I was very happy. It was one of the most productive period of my life as a musician. I think I wrote so many songs.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you should not go out anymore or should not say yes to the people. It's just when I met you, this was sometimes really a part of fights of us, that you were so driven by the request of others that, yeah, it was hard to bear for me. Because you say now always that you're tired. But at that time, there were situations that you just fell asleep somewhere without drinking or with having one beer. And my parents, of course, they're the exhaustion of a German conversation that you could not follow at that time. But then you, at 9 o'clock in the evening, you laid aside and you just slept so deep.
One time I remember that I think we were just starting dating, or I don't know, after a few dates, we were at your apartment chatting, and over the chatting table I fell asleep.
Yes.
And you didn't really, you are able to fall asleep sitting in front of me when I'm talking to you.
Yes. We are still sitting here and talking, and you do not sleep today. That's a very good achievement. But you tell now that you're tired, but at that time you've been so tired. You wanted it all, and it killed your energy so much. Your body battery actually was on super low every evening, and you could not even recharge that because you always got up at 4:44 in the morning to do workout and start your day, right?
Yeah.
And so this attitude I really liked, but it was also so confusing for me that you're so driven by others. But yeah, in the end, I think this also in this podcast was a bit of study of your development here. But it's so cool that you're so social. It's for me a big advantage because I am not so much, and I'm an extrovert as well, but not so much in going into social interactions. I think it's for our daughter also very, very awesome to show her this side, because she has it as well, I think, or a big part of it. And so I feel it's so good that we are so complementary here. But the question that remains open is, how did it change so much your ambition now, how you would like to set up your career? I don't want to say that you don't want to set it up or that you don't have an idea, but what changed here?
So I think one impact was coaching, because there I also realized that not only the steep learning curve, which is making me happy, but also reaching the plateau of the learning curve when you have relevant experience and knowledge which you can invest, and by this you can fast deliver. So the volume what you can deliver gives enough feedback that you feel successful. The other thing that breaking through the level where I am, it didn't work out until now. And I think I also just simply got tired. I realized that it's not even so much important. Like, what is the title? Because also as a result of this coaching, I just realized that I have such an amazing life already at that stage where I was. And when this tiny thing entered my life, then the portion of the impact what career has became so tiny that it's simply just a tool. And work for me currently is just going in there where I'm paid enough to live the life standard what I want and still having fun at the workplace. And that's it.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
And this I have.
Cool.
If you will be the CEO, I will be the 100% houseman, stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, I can understand. Sounds good. Do you want to add something from your side that you think is important to mention here?
I think I would just like to say thank you for all the people who shared time, attention, and energy with me, because that made me the person I am now, because I could learn something from every of them. And this is how I put together the puzzle who I am. But your first question, I still cannot answer. Why am I so chilled?
I think most probably it's the inborn character property.
Can be. We are all
very
about
balanced
hormones.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a storytelling this time about Janos' way.
Very long storytelling. Maybe we can skip the closure words.
Do you want to skip it, or do you want a fast one?
Let's go a fast one.
Okay. Do you want to start, or shall I start?
You start. Best.
I'm healthy again. I can train again.
Cool.
That's the best thing. And that we have, so actually the best thing is that we have been at Aachensee and that I could swim for a while there in the very cold water. First I was hesitant to use the Neo and I thought, yeah, this looks ridiculous, but in this water with 18 degrees, I really needed it. And it was a bit of a shock to first put my face in. And it was also so cool that Minnie is still remembering, but it was yesterday, but she's remembering the day and she has a good memory for a summer day with ice cream at the beach and so on. That was very nice. That was my best. What was your best?
I have so many proud moments about Minnie that I won't choose from there. I think my best that with the band we are now planning the second album recording.
Woo woo.
I'm super motivated.
That's also a good development now at the moment.
Worst?
Yeah, my sickness. That I was so sick was really worst. I missed 1.5 weeks of training. Actually, this is really the bad part of it.
I see the struggle and I also see you frustrated when you cannot put your energy anywhere. I feel that.
Yes. Sorry. I say sorry officially now. What is yours?
My worst is that actually I plan now this story in 1.5 hours in a way that I'm sorry not mentioning him because he was there from my teenagerhood and I could integrate to his family in a way that I could almost experience what is to have siblings. And also I still keep a very good connection to his mom. And
yeah, she's like also it's like second mom for you.
And honestly, always the toughest points I could go back to them for all of the points when I had the toughest situations. And the other thing is, I think they gave me the vision of a close family.
Yeah.
And this is why I could be so independent, because I had nearby someone where I could always return.
And that's good. So you were not completely alone for that. And it's also not to blame anybody. I mean, life stories are life stories. And just everything happens and it happens for a reason. And everybody has their decisions to make at the time. And that's why I would like to tell this, that there's nobody to blame.
Thank you for listening. This was All Lights On.
Please subscribe, follow, give us a thumbs up, comment, share. Send us a message, voice message over our Instagram, All Lights On. We have also now an email address where you can write to.
Well, we can put it to our socials.
But yeah, we would put it there. I don't know why my husband does this, but it makes it complicated. Email address, but yeah, okay.
Thank you for following and supporting. Hear you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.